Hey darlings, today we're going to be talking about periods. So normally I talk about writing or narrating or any sort of like self-care thing that helps me get to my writing and narrating goals. But I feel like it's important. I feel like we need to talk about our bodies more. So if you are a person who does not want to listen about periods and that sort of thing, then why are you here? Maybe don't watch. So I've been having some crazy cramps lately. So it used to be like on the first day that my period would like start, I'd have not good cramps. And like if I really wanted to, I could get away without painkillers, which would just be very uncomfortable. But lately it's been like bad. And yesterday I felt like a little bit of ow, and I'm like, oh, my painkillers are wearing off. But I was recording, and I didn't want to be stopping in the middle of a chapter, and they're long chapters. And so I was like, okay, it's fine. I probably just have a few minutes left. Like, I'm going to keep going. And it ended up being longer than I thought it was going to be. And the pain still wasn't horrible. So I was like, okay, I still have time. It'll be fine. So I took some ibuprofen. Or did I take Tylenol? I don't remember. And the pain kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And it was at the point where I was like shaking and almost crying and like kind of screaming. Like it was inhumanly bad. And I was like, that's not great. In the last 2, 3 months, like sometimes I will wake up in pain. Like before, if I was sleeping, like I didn't really feel the cramps or they'd kind of like settle down. But lately it's been getting worse. And I'm like, that's not good. And I take good care of myself. I eat well. I exercise a lot, but not too much. Like I'm not overdoing it. I don't feel like super drained or anything. So yeah, that's not good. I also don't have health insurance. So I went to dear old Planned Parenthood and was like, hey, check me out. Let's see what's going on. And actually, they were really nice. Like, when I've pretty much any like OBGYN type person that I've gone to has been kind of a jerk in some way or another, where they've been like, oh, hey, because you shaved, you have these razor bumps, and like, that's not good. Like, don't do that. And I'm like, I get to do whatever I want. Like, don't judge my razor bumps. Rude. I didn't ask you about it. Or I remember the very first time I went to the doctor. What was it? I can't remember. She like slut shamed me in some sort of way. I can't remember like what she said, but it was not fun. And it wasn't like I was a crazy giant slut or anything. But that wasn't fun. And then one person was asking about using like a menstrual cup, and she's like, "Ew, why would you do that?" I'm like, "You're a, you're like a lady time doctor. Like, why would you ew a menstrual cup?" So I didn't want to go, but I went. Um, it's been almost 5 years, I believe, since I've gone in. But the old ticker is doing okay. The old blood pressure doing all right. The old lungs sounding pretty good. The old chest region feeling fine. The whole uterus. Everything that she checked, the doctor, was okay. I'll get my pap smear. I don't know, they'll let me know if there's something wrong with it. But she basically said she would have to refer me to a regular doctor for an ultrasound to see if I have fibroids. But then she was like, yeah, but that doesn't tell you if you have like endometriosis or other stuff. My voice. Help. Sorry. Narrating problems. Anyway, so step one, get insurance. Because it was $321 just for the very basic checkup and pap smear. And that's on like low income kind of thing. So I cannot imagine, like, I would not go to the doctor for pretty much anything unless I was dying without insurance. So, step one, insurance. Step two, trying to figure out if there is some sort of natural thing to help with whatever is going on, because being healthy has fixed a lot of things for me. It's fixed asthma, it's fixed depression, it's fixed anxiety, it's fixed tiredness, probably other things. So I'm like, there's got to be something, I imagine, to fix whatever is going on with my womb, my angry, angry womb. And sometimes I wonder if it's something from the past. I don't know, because I remember when I was younger, like, I had terrible periods when I was a wee Kira too. Like, I was in the nurse's office, like, I had a fever. I think I threw up a couple of times. I'm like, what is up with my body? And then I was on birth control for like 10 years, birth control pills. And my period was like practically non-existent. There'd be like a little bit of spotting. And then it's like, okay, I'm done. And I was like, oh, you're so polite. Oh, that's nice. But I'm like, it's probably not good for me. Because they're like, don't be on it for a long time. And don't be on it when you're over 30 something. I don't remember. And I'm like, I just don't know about how I feel about putting exogenous stuff in my body. And then I made the mistake of going on Paragard, the IUD, the copper IUD, because I'm like, it doesn't have hormones. That wasn't good. I did research it a lot, and there were a lot of women that were like, yeah, I love it, and there were a lot, they're like, this is horrible. It was not fun. And I was like, I just have to try it. I don't know how my body's going to react. My body might be like, yay. My body might be like, meh. And that's what it was. And when I was researching it, some women were saying, oh, having it put in was just like this little twinge. And some were like, it was worse than childbirth. And I was like, oh, good, fun. So I go in, and the OBGYN is just like, oh, yeah, it's like getting a pap smear like 3 times, because I don't remember what they do. I think they like sound you to make sure that it will fit. And then they put the IUD in, and then maybe they take out the straw, the sounding straw. Is that a thing? Am I making this up? I don't know. Yeah, I've never had children, but I'm like, that could be worse than childbirth, because it took everything in my power not to scream at the person who was stabbing me in the uterus and just kick them across the room. That was bad. I didn't like it. And then it hurt so terribly after, because I did not take work off. And luckily one of my clients is my friend, so I'm like just all hunched over, like right after getting the IUD, and I'm like nauseated. And she was like, what is wrong? I'm like, I got an IUD. And she's like, why are you here? I'm like, I'm fine. And so I like quickly did my work, and I just like curled up on her couch, just like dying, till I had to go to my next place. And I was just like, oh no. Yeah, and I had that for about a year, and it was not good. It made sexy times randomly painful, or sometimes there would just be an action that would happen, and then I would just, oh no. And it's just like shooting pain, just like just everywhere. So I also went from having like the non-existent, very polite periods to just like horrible, like pretty sure more times than not I was just having cramps. So that wasn't fun. So eventually one day I was like, I need this out of me. I didn't even go to a doctor. My current partner took it out for me. I don't suggest that. You're not supposed to do that in case it gets stuck, or it's not in there right, or something. Things could go wrong. So don't have somebody else take it out. But I did. Luckily, way less painful coming out. Barely felt it. Bless you. My love sneezed. So yeah, sometimes I'm wondering, because I already had terrible periods when I was younger, And then they were better on hormones, but then the hormones made me like extra anxious and depressed. And then I got this stupid IUD, which for some people, I shouldn't say stupid, can be great. Some people love them. For me, no bueno. 10 out of 10 do not recommend for my body. So, I don't know. They were already bad. I feel like I did things that just made them worse. So, now I'm on this discovery of trying to figure out, is it fibroids? Is it endometriosis? Is it womb rage? Which I think is just being horny. I don't know. So I gotta figure that out. And maybe get insurance. But I'm proud of myself that I went to the doctor. Because I don't like doing that. And maybe I should be extra brave and go to the dentist next. Haven't done that in a while. But the doctor was really nice, and I was glad about that. That helped. She was friendly. It's always wonderful talking about like your weekend plans when someone's just like, that's not how they do that. Why am I doing that? When someone's up there and they have like the little poster on the ceiling where you're just like, this little nature poster sure takes me away from just. That's fun. The doctor also told me that Tylenol is not generally helpful for cramps. I don't know why. I find that if I take ibuprofen and Tylenol, it like really helps. Because I know the ibuprofen does something with the postglandulins. There's something in there that it helps with. But I feel like for me, the Tylenol like helps. Maybe it's just placebo. I don't think it's placebo because I didn't think it would work. And then I had that one time and it helped because a friend gave it to me because that's all they had. So I don't know. Another thing about periods I'm going to share with you is I like menstrual cups, like I said before. I find them very handy because you turn up. Turn up why? Come here. Do you require my assistance? Turn up why? Okay, there we go. I like them a lot. There are so many blankets. Those look bad. It's your fault. Why do you like the blankets? Because you're skinny. And you have no fur. He has fur. He has problems. It's fine. They're inexpensive. Like, you get one and you use it for years. And you don't have to buy all that other stuff. And I like everything contained. Like, some women do like to just let it all go. And I'm just like no, I don't like the squish. You know what I mean? Like if you sneeze or you cough. Not a fan. Some people like that. To each their own. Not for me. I did recently get the Nixit, which is a menstrual disc. So it's not a cup. It's a disc. And to me it seems really huge. I was like, this goes in there. Because I use like a really little cup. I don't know. I asked my doctor about this because I was like, I'm pretty sure I have like a low cervix. I'm like, do I have a freakishly low cervix? And she's like, it looks fine. But she's like, it depends on how your uterus is tilted. Because if it's tilted forward, your cervix is like higher up in there. Oh, okay, bye. But if your uterus is tipped back, then your cervix is like, boop, just kind of like right there. So then she's like, just feeling all up in there. And she's like, oh yeah, it's tipped back. So that's why it might seem like your cervix is like lower or more just like there. So I was like, oh, that's fun. I learned a thing about my body. So, and you now know it too. You now know about my uterus. You're welcome. Thought you wanted to know that. So yeah, the Nixit, I tried shoving it on in there. You're supposed to like fold it and kind of go down and then like tuck it in. And then I was like leaking all over the place. And I was like, and it would just come untucked. And I'm like, am I, is there something there's something wrong, the cups work fine. But if they're little, they have to be like tiny. Because like any normal cup, it's like wants to stick out. And it's like, nope. Gotta have like the baby, like the teenager cup. Like the baby one. Like, is there something wrong with my parts? Because that's why I was like, the disc would be amazing. Because it's not like long, it's like flattish. It's a disc. So I was like, I'm not gonna use that until I'm about done and try to figure out, because I'm sure it's user error on my part. But if you're thinking about menstrual cups, they take a while to figure out, and so do the discs, apparently. Because you wanted to know this. Why am I still talking? Because people need to know. Let's talk about periods. Let's be authentic. Like, a lot of us have them. I am not ashamed. Oh gosh, okay. This is weird. Is there anything else I can tell you about my uterus? And my periods? And my menstrual cups? I don't think so. If you would like to share anything about your uterus or your whatevers that are going on, please feel free to do that. Down below or wherever. Maybe if you're watching it upside down, it would be up above. Okay, I'm done. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy Turnip and his massive amounts of blankets and my not sex swing that's a yoga swing and the bad lighting. I could do this well someday. Okay.